Making the whole world wonder, do you know that Australia is a country that attracts a lot of tourists because of its beautiful natural landscapes and the strange, mysterious things that are unique to this country? For example, it is the homeland of kangaroos and venomous snakes. Or you can become super rich by finding gold while touring in Australia. If any of you are planning to study or travel to the land of kangaroos, join me in this video to explore the strange things in Australia. If you want to see what peculiar things this land has to offer, stay tuned as we travel to the vast and sparsely populated country of Australia in the next moments. Number 24. Nude bathing. Australia is home to numerous pristine beaches in places like Alexandria, Cow Lady, Maslin, Sunnyside, Kings Beaches, and many other locations where you need to respect their regulations. What regulations? Of course, it's about bathing in the nude. So if you're not accustomed to it, pay attention not to accidentally stumble upon such places. Number 23. Not easy to buy beer. When traveling in Australia, when visiting the beautiful country of Australia, in many places like Queensland, supermarkets and grocery stores are not licensed to sell alcoholic beverages. In Queensland, only bar owners are allowed to sell beer. However, this is due to different policies in different states in Australia. In New South Wales or Victoria, alcoholic beverages are still available on the shelves at supermarkets. So, if you're a beer lover heading to Queensland, don't be surprised because you won't find beer in supermarkets or convenience stores. Number 22. Home to 21 venomous snake species. Who would have thought that a beautiful country like Australia is home to 20 out of the 25 most venomous snake species in the world, especially with 11 of them ranking in the top 11 globally? The inland taipan, the world's most venomous land snake, is found only in Australia. It is an extremely toxic snake capable of delivering enough venom in one bite to kill 250,000 mice at once. If you're afraid of snakes like me, when going to Australia, it might be a challenge. Besides the highly venomous inland taipan, Australia is also home to the common death adder, which is quite common in the dense forests around Sydney. Instead of fleeing to protect themselves, this snake species has an incredible ability to camouflage. While many other snakes would slither away when feeling threatened, the common death adder disguises itself, hiding in the underbrush before lunging out unexpectedly to bite you. Due to its long fangs, the wound inflicted by this snake can be quite deep. The snake's venom will gradually impair the victim's ability to move and feel. Subsequently, the victim will experience numbness, paralysis, and even death. If you're planning to explore Australia, be cautious, as you might easily encounter snakes everywhere, in supermarkets, air conditioners, and even, in some cases, toilets. Snakes pose a constant hidden danger around you. When shopping in an Australian supermarket, pay attention, as snakes might appear in your bag of greens. Not just insects. Number 21. Giant crocodiles. Australia is renowned for its cool climate and its people's friendly and humorous nature. However, the wildlife here is anything but gentle. Besides the muscular kangaroos, Australia is home to gigantic crocodiles, with sizes reaching up to 4.7 meters and weighing 1,300 kilograms. The reason behind these colossal sizes is a unique climate in Australia, which has led to the tremendous growth of crocodiles. Even the lizards here are enormous, with some reaching a body length of 2 meters. There have been cases of giant lizards entering restaurants, owing to which staff had to forcibly remove them. Giant spiders are also a source of fear for the locals. When walking around, Australians may encounter spider webs spread everywhere. Number 20. Prohibition on wearing pink pants. If you are planning to travel to Australia, make sure to familiarize yourself with the seemingly ordinary rules in other countries that are banned here to avoid unjust fines. Specifically, wearing pink pants in public places after 12 noon on Sundays is considered illegal. If you have a penchant for pink, it's wise not to bring it to Australia to avoid unnecessary trouble. Number 19. Strange facts about kangaroos. Australia is known as the homeland of kangaroos. However, don't be misled by their cute portrayals on TV or in movies, because in real life they can be quite mischievous and often exhibit thug behavior. They are known to break into people's homes to steal food shamelessly. There was an incident where a kangaroo was caught red-handed stealing. Instead of being afraid, it turned the tables and attacked the person, sending them to the hospital. With their tough and fierce nature, Australians often organize boxing matches between kangaroos and humans, which is quite intriguing. The kangaroo's signature move involves grappling the opponent's head and kicking their stomach with its hind legs. Despite being a national treasure, the government commits hunters to cull millions of kangaroos. Some species are considered overpopulated, posing a threat to the land, native wildlife, and themselves during times of drought. Number 18, the longest fence in the world. The dingo fence, also known as the dingo barrier fence, was constructed from the 1880s and completed in 1885 to prevent dingo dogs from damaging crops and sheep in southern Queensland. Dingoes are a unique and wild dog breed in Australia known for their strength, and they even prey on both animals and humans. This is one of the longest structures globally, stretching about 5,614 kilometers. Despite occasional sightings of dingoes in the south, the fence has proven effective. In the 1990s, more gaps started to appear in the fence, and dingoes took advantage, migrating to areas with lush grasslands, home to young rabbits and kangaroos for food. Number 17. Red crab invasion of Australian towns. One shocking phenomenon in the land of kangaroos is the massive migration of red crabs. At the end of October every year, over 50 million red crabs embark on a journey from the rainforest to the coastal areas on Christmas Island, off the northwest coast of Western Australia. The crab swarm covers the surface of Christmas Island like a red stream. Crabs crawl over roads, bridges, rocks, and along streams to reach their breeding grounds in a timely manner. They even appear in some peculiar locations like cliffs and city centers. As a key species in the island's ecosystem, local authorities have implemented various measures to protect them, such as building tunnels and overpasses over highways. During the peak migration period, some roads on the island are closed or restricted to vehicles to make way for the red crabs. Despite some crabs getting stuck while climbing buildings or falling from cliffs, most of them survive on the shores. There are countless red crabs migrating, undoubtedly creating a shocking scene for those witnessing it for the first time. It may seem like a crab invasion taking over the earth. I don't know if there is a day when red crabs invade the planet, but seeing herds of crabs everywhere in the city is quite amusing. Feel free to comment and share your thoughts. Number 16, gold prospecting tourism. Believe it or not, in Australia you can genuinely travel and bring back gold. Instead of spending money on tourism in other countries, you can become a millionaire with your Australian travel experience. Gold prospecting tours take place in Ballarat, Australia. This gold mining town is located in the state of Victoria. It's a historic town with an average population density. In the 1830s, Ballarat was the site of the first gold rush in the country. Within a few years, many people flocked here for gold mining, making the town contribute to 1/3 of the world's gold production by 1850. While it might sound unbelievable, gold prospecting tourism is indeed a thing in Australia. You can try your hand at gold panning, and if you're lucky, you might discover some treasures to take home. You'll be taken into century-old gold mine shafts and experience gold panning by a nearby stream. In reality, many people have struck it rich by finding gold in Australia. For example, in 2020, two men named Brent Shannon and Ethan West found 2 gold nuggets with a total weight of 3.5 kilograms, valued at $250,000. Earlier, in 2019, an Australian man also discovered a 1.4 kilogram gold nugget, estimated to be worth around $69,000. If you're looking to change your life, book a flight to Australia now. If you plan to form a group, feel free to invite me along. Number 15. Ban on wireless tops. One of the peculiar laws in Melbourne, Australia, has surprised many people. It's the ban on men wearing dresses or wireless tops. If you're a man and appear on the streets of Melbourne wearing a dress or a wireless top, it means you're violating Australian laws and could face hefty fines. All you boys heading to this country, make sure not to break this law. Number 14. 429 spoken languages in Australia. Currently, there are 429 languages spoken in Australia, including 183 Indigenous languages. English is the most common language. The Australian Bureau of Statistics released results of the 5-yearly population census from 2016 to 2021, showing that in 2021, Australia had 32,758 people speaking Vietnamese at home, ranking after Arabic and Chinese. Number 13, 27 years to visit all beaches in Australia. For those who love swimming and immersing themselves in cool water, Australia is a paradise. The expansive marine area of Australia covers 855,348 square kilometers, with nearly 50,000 kilometers of coastline. This country has around 10,000 fantastic beaches, more than any other country in the world. It's estimated that it would take you about 27 years to stroll through all the beaches here, making it a quarter of a lifetime. Number 12, ban on noise disturbance. I think Vietnam really needs this law, especially on days when neighbors sing karaoke all day. This law would be super effective. It's the law against creating noise disturbances in Victoria. When attending a home party, tourists should be mindful of the noise they generate. Tourists could violate the law if they create noise exceeding the tolerance threshold. The Environmental Protection Residential Noise Regulations 2018 apply to noise in residential and construction areas. On regular days, the noise disturbance penalties range from 0 tolerance. On Good Friday, noise is prohibited all day. If the police have warned and tourists continue to make noise, they will have to pay a fine. Number 11. Not allowed to own 20 kilograms of potatoes. Western Australia, covering 1/3 of the country's land area, has a very peculiar law. No one is allowed to store 50 kilograms or more of potatoes unless they are a member of the Potato Marketing Corporation or authorized parties. This law was established in 1946 and has not changed since. The first offense results in a fine of 2,000 AUD, and subsequent offenses lead to a hefty fine of 5,000 AUD, plus additional fines based on the weight of the potatoes. Doesn't it sound strange? When this law was enacted during the post-war recession, its purpose was to prevent speculative hoarding of potatoes for resale at exorbitant prices. If you love potatoes and plan to visit Australia, remember not to exceed 50 kilograms. Number 10. Sheep outnumber people. Australia is home to about 75.5 million sheep, 3 times the country's human population. This indicates that encountering sheep on the road is easier than encountering people because the country has a relatively low population density. Alongside beef, sheep and related products are significant exports for Australia. Currently, Australia is the world's #1 exporter of sheep. Number 9. Prohibition on harming pigeons. It's true. In Victoria and South Australia, you are not allowed to kill, injure, or unlawfully capture pigeons. Even having the intention or planning to do so is prohibited. In Victoria, the maximum penalty for harming pigeons is 155 Australian dollars. In South Australia, the maximum penalty can go up to 250 Australian dollars if the pigeon has an owner. The violator also has to compensate the owner separately. If you're someone who likes to try pigeon soup, it might be a bit challenging here. Number 8. Witchy grub. Would you dare to try witchy grub? It's a delicious, creamy, and aromatic dish in Australia, made from the larvae of the witchy moth that lives in witchy bushes. Witchy grub larvae are about 10 centimeters long and have a milky white color. Indigenous people in the desert region often enjoy these larvae in the most common way, eating them live, putting the larvae in their mouths, and chewing until they're no longer squishy. In terms of taste, witchy grub larvae are incredibly rich and fatty. When you bite into the larvae, the creamy filling inside melts in your mouth. Additionally, according to some who have tried it, it has a flavor profile that combines the taste of chicken, a hint of shrimp, and a nutty undertone. Anybody getting goosebumps? Besides being eaten alive, they are also prepared as soup, fried, or grilled. Would you dare to try this dish if given the chance? Number 7. Fine for not wearing a bicycle helmet. Australia is one of the pioneering countries in enforcing mandatory helmet laws for cyclists. However, this law has sparked controversy nationwide due to its hefty fines. If you ride a bicycle without wearing a helmet, you can be fined up to $319 US. This law led to a bicycle protest in Sydney in 2018 as residents opposed its strict enforcement. Would you support such a law in your country? I think such a bicycle law would likely face resistance. Number 6. Traffic rules in Australia. While in most countries the only option for pedestrians to cross the road is to wait for the green light, it's entirely different in Australia. Pedestrians, especially at zebra crossings, have the right of way. This is why you'll find pedestrians push buttons at crosswalks. When you want to cross, you simply press the button, and pedestrians are given priority, even if the traffic light is green for vehicles. Number 5. Pink Lake. When it comes to lakes, people usually think of blue. However, there exists a pink lake which is intriguing and unique. If you ever visit the land of kangaroos, you'll be amazed by Lake Hillier, located on Middle Island. For those who adore pink, this is a must-visit spot to capture beautiful and poetic moments. Lake Hillier has a length of about 600 meters, surrounded by white sand and dense paperbark forests. When viewed from above, the lake looks like a piece of pink bubblegum. An interesting fact is that Lake Hillier has a high salinity level, comparable to that of the Dead Sea, and you can harvest salt from the pink waters, which is actually formed by the presence of the Dunaliella salina alga. Number 4. National Coat of Arms of Australia. Australia is renowned for its landscapes, unique birds, wildlife, and flora throughout the country. If you look at the National Coat of Arms of Australia, you'll see this reflected. However, you might wonder why the coat of arms features two animals, the kangaroo and the emu. The uniqueness lies in the fact that these two species are found only in Australia, and they are also the only animals in the world that cannot move backward. Hence, the Australian government decided to include them in the coat of arms to symbolize the nation's commitment to only moving forward and never stepping back. Number 3. Boomerang. While for us it's a fun toy with the ability to return no matter where you throw it, you might be surprised to learn that for the indigenous people of Australia, the boomerang is a weapon with the ability to fly extremely fast and cover a great distance, assisting them in hunting. The first boomerangs were made from the curved roots of mulga, or acacia trees. Many explorers had the opportunity to observe the lives of indigenous people and were amazed by the boomerang's ability to automatically return after being thrown far away. When indigenous people throw a boomerang, it rotates in the air and can travel up to 200 meters, 3 times the distance of a regular spear. Boomerangs were used to instantly kill or disorient prey. Additionally, boomerangs were utilized in battles against enemies. In movies, boomerangs are often portrayed as formidable weapons used to attack foes. The fly-out and come-back characteristic of the boomerang is symbolically used by the Australian tourism industry. Boomerangs are chosen as an iconic image on souvenirs, representing the idea that gifts will come back to the recipients like a boomerang. Furthermore, the image of the boomerang appears in the logos of many businesses in Australia and is associated with various significant events. Number 2. Hutt River Principality. The Hutt River Principality is located within Australian territory, over 500 kilometers north of Perth. In recent years, it has gained notoriety as a peculiar attraction, drawing many curious tourists. It was established in 1970 by a farmer named Leonard Casley, with an area of only 75 square kilometers, double that of Monaco, and a population of fewer than 30 people. Hutt River is a micronation, a self-proclaimed existing nation that is not recognized by any government or organization. Another term for such entities is phantom nation. It was established in 1970 when Leonard Casley, a farmer, self-appointed himself the title of prince and later bestowed royal titles upon everyone in his family. He transformed his farm into an independent nation, naming it the Hutt River Principality. Despite lacking official recognition, it continued to function as an independent nation with its own visas, driver's licenses, passports, currency, stamps, and a unique flag. The principality even had 13 representative offices in 10 countries worldwide, including the United States and France. Unfortunately, the principality has been dissolved upon the death of self-proclaimed Prince Leonard Casley in February 2019. He left behind a tax bill of $2.15 million. The economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, combined with a colossal tax bill, forced Hutt River to issue a final statement selling the inherited land to settle the debt. Prince Graham Casley announced this in early August. Number 1. Wave Rock. In Australia's unique landscape, if you visit Australia and don't check in at this location, consider it a missed opportunity. Wave Rock, the uniquely shaped giant rock resembling ocean waves, will undoubtedly captivate anyone at first sight. From a distance, the massive rock looks like a rising ocean wave suddenly frozen in place. The marvelous colors of the rock result from minerals deposited during thousands of years of rain, creating beautiful shades of red, yellow, and gray. At different times of the day, the color of wave rock changes under the influence of sunlight. In the wave rock area, Various unusual rock formations also emerge, such as a rock resembling a yawning hippopotamus, a camel's hump, or a hat, and a king's head. These are the largest and most prominent among hundreds of different rock shapes scattered around the central area. Many travel bloggers and photographers have visited and captured mesmerizing images, making everyone yearn to set foot in this extraordinary place. What about you? Have you embarked on a journey to explore the unique aspects found only in Australia? What impressed you the most? If given the chance, would you like to travel to this peculiar country? Don't forget to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments.